Well, it seems Billy Joel is ending what Rolling Stone has described as the longest drought in pop music history. This Billy Joel song is his first in 17 years, and we are understandably excited about this release, but it's also a bit of a noodle scratcher and throws up quite a few interesting questions. There is no doubt there's been a tsunami of anticipation rampaging through the Billy Joel fan communities when it was announced he'd be releasing his new song, Turn the Lights Back on February the 1st, today in fact. Now, he hasn't put out any new material of any sort, I believe, since 2007's Christmas in Fallujah. And of course there was the album River of Dreams, which was his last album of original material pop songs, and that came out in 1993. But as eagerly anticipated as this new song is, what do we really think of it? The song leads with the vocal and piano accompaniment. It has a pleading quality. It kind of reminds me a little bit of She's Always a Woman, maybe suggesting perhaps that same relationship but many, many years later. But it leads with the metaphor, please open the door, suggesting that something has broken down, trying to talk, he says. There is this idea of recognition and realisation to it. I'm late, but I'm here right now, he sings. We're laying in the darkness and turn the lights back on. It's a petition, if you like, to reignite a dwindling relationship. I love in the video we get the image of a woman diminishing and moving further and further away. It's quite a poignant symbol here. I love the analogy of a relationship drifting from complacency to hostility, and that's encompassed beautifully in the line, the cold settles in. And it's interesting the mention of the house that they built, perhaps another metaphor, but again it suggests it's a house rather than a home. I love the bridge, no pun intended, and the flourish of keys that is slightly reminiscent of Piano Man. Beautiful use of strings here as well, and Billy's voice is not challenged, but it just hangs well, I think, and sensitively throughout the song. His voice may have lost a little range, but it's still capable of conveying emotion and nuance. I adore the line in this, is there still time for forgiveness? And the cello gives it an almost sombre, almost a hymnal quality, I think. And the heavy-gated drum sound at the end gives us that dopamine rush that every potential hit song should have. Overall, a well-crafted and lush arrangement here. I'm pretty sure Billy Joel is going to perform this song at the Grammys on the 4th of February. But the questions that are raised by this is, what has prompted him to write again? Is it just merely a case of feeling inspired? And what has prompted him to team up with producer Freddie Wexler and writers Arthur Bacon and Wayne Hector? But the question on everybody's lips is, does this point to more songs coming? A new album, perhaps? His last album was technically 2001's Fantasy and Delusions, but that was a classical piano album where British Korean pianist Richard Hung Kai-ju, please forgive me if I've said that wrong, plays compositions that were actually written by Joel. And we aren't counting this simply because, one, they aren't pop songs and there were no vocals, and Joel doesn't even play on the thing, really. That means River of Dreams is his last proper album. In 1993, this LP was a big hit, I think, that landed us the title track, plus a wonderful All About Soul and No Man's Land, and of course Lullaby, Goodnight My Angel on the charts. It seems Billy Joel has just lost interest in putting out new music. He told Rolling Stone magazine in 2019, I still write music, I just lack the incentive to actually record anything. I do it for my own edification, he said. He says, I don't feel the need to make myself relevant. I lived the rock and roll life, I'm not writing that anymore. So what are the odds of a new album? I mean, some would say they're looking painfully slim, really. I mean, Billy Joel is 75, not that that should stop him, really. But the fact that he's doing so well on the touring circuit, and his post-River of Dreams recording career, which spans 31 years now, is actually longer than his pre-River of Dreams recording career. But now we have this song that's about to land, and obviously there's a lot of buzz about it. So it's quite possible and reasonable of us to perhaps anticipate more songs and an album. Well, if you've engaged with this review, I'd like to thank you for reaching this point, and I'd like to apologise for the noises outside with some roadworks going on. But please do click like, subscribe, check that notification bell, and share this video. It makes all the difference to the YouTube algorithm. And check some of the links below this video for ways you can support the sterling work done at Classic Album Review. Become a Patreon, why not? There's a fine body of work on there now. Anyway, I'll leave you with my closing salvo, which is, as you know, hope you're well, staying safe, and of course that you keep listening.